Ladies and gentlemen, beloved souls of infinite potential, I stand before you today to declare a profound and liberating truth. You have already won the lottery of life. Not someday, not when luck smiles on you, but this very moment, the prize is yours. Your mind may wander to doubts, your heart may whisper worries, but hear me clearly, the victory is already sealed, the riches are already yours. The first step on this magnificent journey is the sacred knowing. To manifest your dreams, you must step into the unshakable certainty that your desire is already fulfilled. When you declare, "I have won," you shift your entire being from a place of scarcity to one of abundance. This knowing is the mighty engine that pulls your dreams from the invisible ether into tangible reality. The universe listens not to your pleas, but to your declarations. Speak, therefore, with boldness. I have abundance, I have joy, I have success. Words are not mere sounds. They are powerful creative strokes on the canvas of your destiny. Each affirmation you utter is a divine command, a decree that shapes your world. When you say, "I am prosperous," or "I am worthy of great blessings," your subconscious mind leaps to action, dissolving doubt and fear. Be vigilant of your speech, for it is the magic wand with which you craft your future. Speak life, speak victory, speak the truth of your already won prize. But listen well, for manifestation is not a battle to be fought with clenched fists. It is a dance of surrender and trust. Let go of the anxious grip on outcomes. Release impatience and worry into the hands of the divine, knowing that every moment unfolds perfectly. The unseen forces are orchestrating your life with precision and grace. When you trust this flow, you open the floodgates for miracles. And what of gratitude? Gratitude is the golden key that unlocks the treasure chest of the universe. Praise what you have, no matter how small, and praise what you know is coming. This practice raises your vibration, shifting you from a mindset of lack to one of overflowing plenty. Gratitude is the invitation for abundance to rush in, a joyful celebration of blessings already received and those on their way. Finally, harness the limitless power of your imagination, the divine workshop of your soul. Visualize your success as if it is happening now. Feel the thrill of your victory, the joy of your wealth, the peace of your fulfillment. This vivid rehearsal programs your subconscious mind and sets the wheels of manifestation into unstoppable motion. Remember this truth. You have already won. Walk in that knowing. Speak in that power. Trust in the divine unfolding. Live with gratitude. And imagine boldly. The lottery of life is yours. Claim your prize and step into the glorious reality that awaits. Words are not mere sounds that fall from the lips and vanish into the air. No, each word is a decree, a creative force, a seed planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind. With every phrase you speak, you are either building your palace or laying the bricks of your prison. For life and death are in the power of the tongue, and you shall eat the fruit thereof. Your words are spells, your affirmations are commands, and your declarations are blueprints handed directly to the master architect of the universe. You may think your words are idle chatter, but there is no such thing. The universe listens to your every syllable with perfect obedience. If you declare lack, you invite lack. If you declare delay, you summon delay. But if you speak of wealth, even when your purse is light, the gates of abundance begin to creak open. If you speak of joy, even when tears fall, you summon angels to lift your spirit. This is not fantasy. It is law, the law of the spoken word. Affirmations are the language of the soul in harmony with divine truth. When you affirm, "Everything I touch turns to success," you are not making a hopeful wish. You are stating a spiritual fact, one that overrides appearances and reshapes reality. Your outer world bends and molds itself according to the inner architecture of your mind, and that architecture is carved by what you say, day in and day out. Do not underestimate the power of repetition. A single affirmation, spoken once, is a whisper in the storm. But when you repeat it with conviction, day after day, it becomes a thunderclap that breaks through the walls of resistance. Say it in the morning, in the evening, under your breath, in the face of adversity. Say it when you believe it, and even more so when you don't. For every word sown in faith shall return to you multiplied. Many people cry out, "Nothing ever works for me." And they are right, not because fate is cruel, but because they have proclaimed it so. The subconscious does not argue, it accepts what it is told. It acts upon your word with robotic precision. So if you would change your life, you must first change your language. Speak only that which you wish to see. Guard your tongue as a king guards his treasure, for from it flows the issues of life. Speak abundance, and abundance will seek you. Speak healing, and healing will rise in your body. Speak peace, and storms will cease. The words you speak today are the life you shall live tomorrow. So speak with boldness, speak with joy, speak with authority. For you are not merely speaking into the air, you are speaking to the universe itself, and it is always listening. Letting go is not weakness. It is not surrendering your desire. It is the boldest act of faith, the truest sign that you trust a power higher than your limited self. To let go is to step out of the narrow confines of control and allow the divine to take the lead. So many people plead, pray, affirm, and visualize, but still hold on with clenched fists to the outcome, watching the clock, measuring the progress, trying to push the river. But manifestation does not come through strain, it comes through surrender. The moment you release the burden of how and when, you allow the great spiritual machinery of the universe to move. You cannot drive the carriage and sit in the back at the same time. Either you let the divine take the reins, or you remain caught in delay and frustration, wondering why nothing is happening. When you let go, you give permission for the invisible forces to go to work on your behalf. Forces that know every person, every timing, every path that leads to your good. The mind is always trying to figure it out, to force, to predict, to control. But the soul knows better. The soul whispers, "Be still. Trust. All is well." When you plant a seed in the soil, you do not dig it up every hour to check if it has sprouted. You water it. You leave it. You know, deep in your bones, that life is at work beneath the surface. So it is with your desires. Once you have claimed it, once you have spoken the word, your only task is to stay in peace and expectancy, not to meddle in the process. Fear is the great saboteur of manifestation, and fear always grows when trust is absent. But when you let go, truly let go, you starve fear of its fuel. You step into a knowing beyond logic. You say to yourself, "Even though I cannot see the way is already prepared." That is not delusion. It is spiritual maturity. It is the consciousness of one who understands that divine order is always unfolding, even when appearances suggest otherwise. The things you chase often run from you, not because you are unworthy, but because your energy says, "I don't trust it will come unless I chase." But the things you allow flow toward you. Your surrender becomes your magnetism. Your peace becomes your power. The universe responds most swiftly to the one who moves in quiet confidence, not desperation. Let go of the need to control, and miracles will fill the space you once cluttered with worry. Trust that what is meant for you cannot be lost. Trust that the delay is divine timing, not denial. Trust that your answered prayer is not just possible. It is inevitable. Walk in peace, for the current of life is carrying you toward your highest good. Let go, and let the divine do the rest. Gratitude is not a polite habit. It is a spiritual law. It is the energy that aligns you with abundance, the vibration that tells the universe, "I am ready to receive more." When you give thanks, you unlock the floodgates of supply. When you praise, you lift yourself into the frequency where miracles occur. So many cry out in lack, pleading for what they do not have, focusing on what is missing, and they wonder why their prayers echo back empty. But the one who gives thanks for what is already theirs, even if unseen, activates a divine alchemy that turns invisible blessings into visible form. Gratitude is magnetic. It multiplies what you already possess and draws to you even more. If you thank the universe for your daily bread, more bread comes. If you thank it for your overflowing finances, even if your bank balance says otherwise, you send out a signal of trust, of belief, of expectation. And that expectation will not return void. The grateful heart is never barren. It is always fertile ground for manifestation. Many think they must wait to be thankful, Wait until the thing appears, the door opens, the money arrives. But this is the great misunderstanding. Gratitude must come first. Praise must come while the storm is still raging, while the answer is still unseen. That is true faith, to bless the crop while the ground still looks dry. That is how you water it, by praising it into existence. You don't wait for evidence. You create the evidence through your praise. Gratitude is not just for the big things. When you give thanks for the small, your breath, a smile, a meal, a kind word, you train your mind to see blessings everywhere. And what you notice multiplies. If you focus on what is lacking, you receive more lack. If you focus on what is present and good, even if only a little, that little becomes much. Life mirrors your internal state. A thankful soul walks in a world that is always giving. Praise is the language of prosperity. Praise says, I see the good, I expect the good, and I celebrate the good, even before it fully arrives. It lifts your spirit, breaks the chains of fear and doubt, and opens the gates of joy. Praise is not begging. It is not pleading. It is the bold voice of someone who knows the answer is already on its way and chooses to rejoice in advance. When you praise what you want, as if it were already here, you speed its arrival. You harmonize your energy with the very thing you desire. The universe responds to joy faster than it does to desperation. Gratitude and praise shift you from resistance to receptivity, from fear to faith, from worry to wonder. So give thanks, not later but now. Not when the evidence shows up, but when the promise is still unfolding. The more you praise, the more you raise your life. The more you bless, the more you're blessed. Gratitude is the music that draws the blessings home. Imagination is not child's play, it is divine power. It is the sacred workshop of the soul, the inner temple where you build the life you desire before it ever appears in the outer world. Every invention, every breakthrough, every miracle that has ever walked this earth began first in the unseen realm of thought. The moment you dare to see it in your mind, you begin to call it into form. Your imagination is not fantasy. It is prophecy. It shows you what is possible when you align your spirit with the infinite. Whatever you consistently imagine with emotion, with belief, with clarity, begins to take shape in the invisible and presses itself into the visible. Do not wait for the world to give you permission to believe. Imagine it now. See the life you desire, the joy you crave, the success you know is meant for you, and see it vividly. Let the colors be bright. Let the details be rich. Feel it with your senses. Walk in that world in your mind as if it were already yours, because in truth, it already is. When you visualize with faith and consistency, you send out a blueprint to the universe, and the universe responds with precision. It begins rearranging people, circumstances, and events to match the image you have created. You are not here to beg for scraps. You are here to co-create with the divine. And your imagination is the divine faculty through which that creation begins. The challenge is not in the lack of resources. It is in the lack of vision. People say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the truth is, you'll see it when you believe it. And belief is born in the imagination. The clearer your vision, the stronger your magnet. You cannot receive what you cannot first conceive. If you cannot see yourself free, wealthy, joyful, or successful in your own mind, you block the very channels through which those blessings wish to come. Guard your imagination, for it is sacred ground. Do not let fear build castles of defeat in your mind. Do not let doubt paint pictures of failure. Your mind is not a dumping ground for worry. It is a garden where miracles grow. Plant only what you wish to harvest. Let your inner world be filled with images of beauty, victory, and abundance. Feed your vision daily, and soon the world will reflect it back to you. Your imagination is your spiritual womb. It carries the seed of every dream you've ever had. What you nurture there will one day be born into form. So do not take it lightly. Honor your visions. Treasure your daydreams. Let your imagination become your most trusted ally, your secret source of power. For when you use it rightly, you are not escaping reality. You are designing a new one. And that new reality is waiting just beyond the veil, ready to become your life the moment you dare to believe. The let go is to release your grip on the visible and place your trust in the invisible. It is not giving up. It is rising higher. It is not resignation. It is recognition. Recognition that the power which governs the stars and balances the seas is the same power guiding your life. When you truly let go, you say with boldness, I do not need to know how. I do not need to control the when. I trust the divine to deliver it in perfection. And that trust moves mountains that your willpower could never touch. The moment you speak your word, when you affirm the desire, declare the vision, and plant the seed of your intention, your work is to release it, not obsess over it. Obsession delays manifestation. Control constricts the flow. You cannot manifest while strangling the process. Imagine a seed planted in the soil. It cannot be forced to grow by digging it up every day. Growth happens in the dark, in the silence, in the unseen. So it is with your dreams. Once you have spoken your word in faith, you must release it into the hands of the infinite, knowing it is being handled perfectly. Many suffer not from lack of ability, but from lack of surrender. They think they must push, strive, manipulate outcomes, or force results through effort alone. But this is a path of weariness, not wonder. What they do not realize is that the more tightly they cling, the more they delay the blessing. The blessing comes to the open hand, not the clenched fist. And so, the real courage is not in holding on, it is in letting go. To trust the divine flow is to believe that every delay is divine protection. That every closed door is a redirection. That what is for you cannot be missed, and what is not for you cannot be forced. You are not a victim of chance. You are a co-creator with the infinite mind. And the universe knows how to bring your good to you in ways far better than you could ever orchestrate. When you surrender the need to figure it all out, space is created for the miraculous to step in. Letting go does not mean doing nothing. It means doing your part, speaking the word, aligning your thoughts, taking inspired action, and then allowing the universe to do its part. It means resting in the knowledge that unseen hands are at work. It means walking in peace while your good is being prepared. When you let go, you allow the divine rhythm to take over. And that rhythm is always perfect. Fear will whisper, what if it doesn't work? Faith answers, it already is. Fear says, I must make this happen. Faith replies, it is already done. Let go of the timeline. Let go of the method. Let go of needing to know. And watch how swiftly the universe delivers when you trust its timing more than your own. Gratitude is not an afterthought. It is a spiritual practice, a creative force, a magnetic power that draws all things good into your life. When you give thanks, even before the blessing arrives, you set the law of increase into motion. You affirm, through your vibration, that abundance is already yours. You speak not as one in lack, but as one who knows the source is unfailing and always on time. This is the secret known by all who live in harmony with divine law. Gratitude opens doors that effort alone cannot unlock. So many wait to feel grateful until the evidence appears. They say, I will be thankful when I have more money, when the relationship comes, when the situation changes. But this is backward living. In truth, it is gratitude that brings those very things into being. The moment you begin to praise and bless what you do have, no matter how small, you change your frequency. And once your frequency shifts, your conditions must follow. Life is not responding to your needs. It is responding to your energy. And nothing shifts energy faster than sincere thanksgiving. The person who lives in daily gratitude walks in the power of spiritual authority. They are no longer tossed about by appearances. They look lack in the face and say, I bless you, for you are only the illusion. My true supply comes from a higher source, and it is already mine. They look at delay and say, thank you, for something better is unfolding behind the scenes. Praise becomes their language, even in the midst of uncertainty, and through that praise, they call in the unseen good with unwavering confidence. Gratitude transforms your inner world, and when the inner world changes, the outer must follow. If you wish to accelerate manifestation, begin giving thanks as if your desire were already here. Feel the joy now. Celebrate it now. Say aloud, thank you for my prosperity. Thank you for divine health. Thank you for the doors opening in perfect timing. As you do, your words carry creative energy, and your vibration becomes a match for the reality you wish to experience. Praise is the song of the soul that knows its power. It is the affirmation of faith, the melody of belief. When you praise, you are not pretending, you are prophesying. You are declaring with boldness that your good is here, even if it hasn't yet reached your physical senses. The universe hears that praise and responds like a mirror, reflecting back the very substance of what you have affirmed. You do not need to wait for things to be perfect to be thankful. Be thankful, and perfection begins to unfold. Praise in the storm, and watch the clouds part. Give thanks in the darkness, and light will rush in. What you bless, blesses you. What you appreciate, appreciates in value. Gratitude is the golden key, and praise is the doorway. Walk through it, and you walk into the life you've already claimed. Imagination is the divine spark within you, the sacred space where creation begins. It is the workshop of your soul, the inner canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. Long before anything is made manifest, it is first shaped in the invisible realm of thought and feeling. Whatever you can imagine with conviction, you can bring into being. The world you live in now is simply the harvest of yesterday's imagination. And the world you will live in tomorrow is being constructed right now in the secret corridors of your mind. Do not make the mistake of dismissing your imagination as fantasy or idle daydreaming. When you imagine deliberately, with feeling, with intention, and with faith, you are writing the blueprint of your future. The soul speaks through images. It gives you visions not to tease you, but to guide you. That picture of your ideal home, that glimpse of a thriving business, that sense of joy, freedom, and abundance, they are not accidents. They are divine previews of what is possible for you. And the more you dwell in that reality within, the more the outer world begins to rearrange itself in accordance with your inner vision. Imagination is a spiritual gift, a power far greater than logic, effort, or even knowledge. When used rightly, it overrides limitation. You may look around and see lack, struggle, or delay, but when you close your eyes and see the life you desire, you are shifting your frequency. You are lifting yourself above circumstance and into the realm of truth, where all things are possible. There is no condition too fixed, no past too heavy, that cannot be transformed by a bold, clear, unwavering vision. Every thought, every image you entertain becomes a seed planted in the garden of your subconscious. If you nurture it with repetition, belief, and emotional energy, it begins to grow, first in silence, then in form. Do not speak of what you do not want. Do not rehearse defeat in your mind. Use your imagination not to worry, but to wonder. Not to relive the past, but to design the future. See yourself already living your answered prayer. Walk in the scene. Feel the texture of it. Breathe it in as if it were real, because it is. When you imagine with joy, you send out a frequency that calls back its match. You are not here to beg for crumbs from the world. You are here to create the feast. And imagination is your starting point. It is the power that bridges the gap between desire and reality. The images you hold become the life you live. So guard them well. Speak them aloud. Believe in them even when no one else does. For the soul always knows before the eyes can see. And what is real in the unseen shall soon be made visible in divine, perfect time.